In this video, we're going to take a look at whether the new MacBook Neo can run Adobe Captivate 13.1. My name is Paul Wilson, and I make videos about e-learning, specifically with the authoring tool Adobe Captivate. If you enjoy my videos, I encourage you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with all of your e-learning colleagues. For years, I've gotten a lot of questions from viewers of my YouTube channel wondering what is the ideal computer to run Adobe Captivate. And unfortunately, there's no one single answer. But lately, I've had a couple of questions about this product right here. This is the brand new MacBook Neo, which is a very affordable MacBook. In this particular case, you're looking at $599 US for it. $499 if you can take advantage of a student purchase program. So it's a really good value, and it's certainly one of the most affordable MacBooks that you can get. This particular model is the version that comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it also has 256 gigabytes of storage. So it is limited. There's no doubt about that. But is it so limited that you can not run Adobe Captivate, or should you run Adobe Captivate? And I did a couple of experimentations. I installed Adobe Captivate 13 on this, tested it out, and I'm going to share that with you today. Okay, let's start off by opening maybe one of the quick start projects and making a few changes and see what that's like on the new MacBook Neo. So I'm going to click on Quick Start Projects, and we'll take a look at probably one of the most common ones that people select, and that's the customer service skills. And let's just start by editing some of the content in this project and see what the performance looks like here. So I'm going to start with the title, and we'll change this to Pizza Box Corporation. That looks fine. We've got, let's change the start button to say begin, let's say. Let's take a look here. Let's do a little change here. We'll say agenda instead of table of contents. And maybe we can play around with the generative AI stuff. So let's select this person here, and we'll select generative AI, and we'll choose generate image, and we'll just say person making a pizza, and we'll generate that and see what kind of results we get. Does it even work on a MacBook Neo? We'll find out. That looks good, so we'll replace that. Let's take a look over here, and we'll do something similar with this one here, generate image, and chef preparing pizza with the pizza box. And we'll see what we come up with. So far, so good. It seems to be performing well. You know, other than the time it takes to go out onto the internet and capture that AI, it seems to be doing a fine job. Let's do a preview of this project from the beginning and see what kind of results we get here. Okay, let's run this project. Pizza Box Corporation. I'm going to put my name in here and click on the begin button. And it seems to be working well. We can jump around to the different sections, and all our images are displaying properly. So I don't think there's really any issue with using Adobe Captivate, at least with a quick start project. Let's click on the home icon to create a new instance of Adobe Captivate. I'll keep this project in the background, and we'll start with just a new blank project without any quick start project or anything like that. And let's start to add some content, starting with perhaps an image. And then we'll go over to our Visual Properties Inspector. We'll scroll down a ways here and we'll select one of the design options. And we'll again change the content here. Pizza Box Corporation. And we will use the generate image to generate a pizza inside a pizza box. So I think regardless of whether you're starting with a quick start project as I initially did or building something from scratch, it seems to be doing a good job here. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, not a problem. Let's do a new project again. And the one thing I've been thinking about as I've started this is that, okay, regular e-learning projects, probably not going to be a problem. Let's try a software simulation. So I'm going to click New Simulation. And while I'm at it, let's move this out of the way. I'll need to open System Settings and just allow for Adobe Captivate to record the screen, provide my password, and it will say quit and reopen, which is fine. New simulation. We'll discard these other projects I've got going in the background here. And as far as the system settings are concerned, I'm just going to quit that there. And I think what we should do for this project is something similar to what I've done in the past. And that would be teaching people how to book their travel, their flight to, let's say, Las Vegas for the upcoming Adobe Learning Summit. So we're going to use a full screen monitor for this simulation. We're not going to do any narration. We won't record any system audio. And let's record simultaneously a demo and a training, which is typical how I would do this. Start off by showing them a demo. Here's how you do it. And then turning the mouse over to them and get them to perform those tasks as well. No panning is necessary here because, of course, it's full screen. But we could go into preferences and make a few changes here. I think what I would typically do is go into the different modes. For demo, I might turn off highlight boxes on click. And for training, looks good. We'll go with those settings there. So we'll go back here and we'll press record. We'll get our typical 3, 2, 1 countdown. We'll just allow Adobe Captivate access to data from other apps. And let's choose allow for the privacy option. Now in this recording, you may not see the recording pod that I see, but that's okay. You know, it's just one of those things that sort of happen. So we are leaving from Toronto Pearson, which would make sense for me. And I'm going to click on where we're going to. And I'm going to type in Las Vegas, Harry Reid International. And let's pick when I'm going to be going. And we'll say June 22nd to the 26th could be an example that I would choose. I'll choose done. And one traveler economy, and we'll search for that there. Scroll down. And this option here looks pretty good. And we'll select this option there. And I think we're done. I can go ahead and press stop. And we've got our recording here. Now we're seeing our little beach ball spin around as it thinks this through. Again, remember, when you record a demo and a training session, you are creating two projects. So when we're done, we should see two Captivate projects open. One that's the demo, where we get to see the virtual mouse move around the screen, as well as the virtual typing text for when I typed in Las Vegas, for example. The other project, for a training project, it should show me a series of click boxes where you would want the learner to click their mouse at the appropriate spot, and also, of course, text input fields where they would type in Las Vegas as an example. And this is the fact that we're seeing the beach ball spinning for quite amount of time here suggests to me that maybe this is where something like the MacBook Neo may not have the performance. So some of the limitations of the MacBook Neo is that essentially we're using an iPhone 16 Plus CPU. So it's a phone, basically. I know it looks like a computer, but essentially this is a phone. So it is a cool little computer. It's not super powerful. It certainly will not replace my MacBook Pro. However, this might be a good alternative to an iPad, actually, when you think about it. At $599, it's certainly within $100 or so, or maybe $200 of what a typical iPad is worth. But you get the added bonus of course, a pretty powerful chip and the ability to have a keyboard and a trackpad, all the things that might be missing that you might miss yourself using an iPad. And I know that's been a thought process to me. I imagine going on vacation, I've often would bring my iPad, and it was good enough, but there were certainly occasions where I might needed to have a requirement to respond to an email from a client, or just to stay in touch with family back home. It's nice having the keyboard and be able to type as well, and be able to hook up the simple peripherals that you get with this machine. So do I think it will make a great alternative to having Adobe Captivate on my MacBook Pro? No, I think there are certain things where I need the MacBook Pro to do the difficult task of rendering video and other things like that. But one thought, of course, is if I am on vacation or nowhere near my regular home computer, I could load up a Captivate document and maybe edit some text within it, update it, publish it out, and send it back to the client without needing a full-fledged high-end computer. So, it's not for everybody, but maybe it's a great little backup computer that you can use and stay in touch with your clients even when you're away from the office.
If you thought this video was helpful, please like and share it with your colleagues. If you need help with Adobe Captivate, hire Paul for one-on-one instruction. Paul's goal is to focus on lessons based on your specific needs. Visit his website at captivateteacher.com. And don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel.